Hi everyone, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the 2020 ReDigital announcement video. So for those of you who have been following my channel for a while, you'll know that last year I dabbled in a bingo board reading style challenge throughout most of the year. And in 2021, I actually want to make sure that I get this challenge rolled out every month in the whole year, and fingers crossed that I can get that done. ReDigital is a monthly reading challenge where you are encouraged to read your digital books, be they ebooks, audiobooks, digital comics or graphic novels, fan fiction, or any other form of digital stories that you like to consume. It's a very chilled out, very relaxed sort of reading challenge, and it's designed that way on purpose because I'd like things that are not so stressful. You can double or triple up on prompts. Hell, if you can find a book that fits every prompt on the board, go for it. I think that's amazing. There's no specific genre, so you can interpret the prompts however you like. The main goal is just to read those digital books, because I don't know if you're anything like me, but digital books are easier to acquire than physical books. And because I don't physically see them, they just pile up and sit there for ages, and I need to read them. As opposed to last year, ReDigital is going to be a month-long readathon. I haven't changed the 9 square grid because I think 9 squares is heaps for a lot of people. And this year I have also tried to include some non-reading challenges that you can either use and include an extra book for them, or you can double them up with book prompts and hopefully incorporate a little bit more wellness and well-being and fun into your reading, as opposed to just trying to get through tons and tons of books. So before I go any further, here is the January bingo board. I do have a corresponding blog post. I will leave that linked in the description down below so that you can download the board for yourself. As I said, there are 9 squares. The first challenge is to read a book with your favorite drink. Pretty self-explanatory. You can either choose to double this up with a book prompt, or you could choose a completely different book to read with this prompt. It's however you feel like using it. There is the prompt to read a book that you meant to read in 2020. So what was left on your TBR that you really wanted to pick up? January is the perfect time to do that. The third prompt is to read the newest book on your TBR. Then you have the challenge to read a book with purple on the cover. Now that doesn't have to mean a fully purple cover. It can be a tiny little speck of purple on the cover. I don't mind how you interpret it as long as purple is there somewhere. The next challenge is to write a review for a book that you're reading. Reviews really help readers to find books that they want to read, but they also help an author's reach. One of my goals for next year is to try and write more reviews, even if they're only short. So I thought this would be a good one to include. There is the challenge to read a book with only one word in the title. There is the prompt to read a favorite author because it's the start of a new year. Let's start off with something that we love. But also the next prompt is to read a new to you author. Start the year with something new and try out someone that you've always been meaning to try. And then the final prompt is to read in your favorite spot. So if you have a favorite place that you love to read, or even somewhere that you don't get to read often but you really enjoy, try it out and see if you can make that work for you. Now, I have only picked books for the book prompts, so I'll share my TBR with you so that you get a general idea. I tend to mostly do these as romance books because that's predominantly what is on my Kindle. So for the book that I meant to read in 2020, I have The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, who I've absolutely adored reading in 2020. This is a book that I've heard nothing but good things about, and apparently it is just sweet and gorgeous and wholesome, and I cannot wait. I haven't yet picked up the book that's the newest on my TBR because I'm very click happy when it comes to my ebooks. So chances are I will acquire something between the time this video goes up and the start of January. For the book with purple on the cover, I'm going to read To Seduce the Highlander by Kerrigan Byrne. This, I believe, is a historical paranormal romance book and will probably be my first Kerrigan Byrne. I do have a few of her other books, but I'm not sure I'm going to get to them before I read this one, I think. For a book that has one word in the title, I'm going to be reading Misbehaving by Tiffany Rice. I've previously read Tiffany Rice's holiday shorts for Mills and Boon Blaze, but this book has been sitting on my Kindle for a while. I believe this is contemporary erotic romance. For the challenge to read a book by your favorite author, I'm planning on reading The Rogue Not Taken by Sarah MacLean, who I have just utterly fallen in love with this year, and I need to read all of her books. And finally, for the prompt to read a new to me author, I'm planning on reading His Best Friend's Little Sister by Vivian Wood. I believe I got this probably through a newsletter. It was probably a free book, but I'm very intrigued, so I thought I would pick that up. As I said, I will leave the corresponding blog post and bingo board linked down below, so definitely check it out. I hope that you'll join me. You've got an entire month, and there's only 5 book challenges if you only just want to do the book challenges, and hopefully it helps us to keep track and to manage our digital TBRs a little bit better. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye everyone.